Hi, I'm Knut. I'm a developer advocate at Sanity.io. In this video, I will introduce you to something called portable text. Portable text is the way Sanity treats rich text content. Okay, so this is the rich text editor in Sanity Studio, and it pretty much looks like any rich text editor you may have used before. What typically happens in CMSs are that this text is saved as HTML. And that's probably okay if the only thing you do is to output this content on a website in a browser. But if you plan to reuse these texts across many websites or other platforms like apps or voice assistants, and if you plan to use it with a modern JavaScript framework like React or Vue, you will run into some problems. That's why we decided to write the specification for portable text and deal with rich text content that way. And this gives you many advantages. So before we go on, let's see how this document actually are structured and find this rich text within it. So this is the Next.js page builder template that I installed from Sanity Crate. And here we can see that we have an array section. And in this array section, you can insert different custom object types. One of those object types is containing a rich text field. So this text section has rich text field. So let's find this in the JSON document that lies behind this interface. We go to inspect and get the document as JSON. And here we have the content, and the content is this array with different sections. So we have 4 sections, and in the last, we remember we had the rich text field. And this is the rich text. It is an array. And in those arrays, we have some keys, some properties. We have a type, a children, we have something called markdefs, and we have style. And this is how rich text is saved. It is saved in a block type. It has some children, and the children are spans. And those spans have some text in them. So this text is what you see when you open this editor and look at this portion. When we have extra features in rich text, such as strong or a link, that is saved too within the structure. So if we go back and inspect the document, we can go into this and see that this span is only love, and it has a mark which is strong. And this mark is just arbitrary. Here we have used the HTML element strong, the same name, to easily convert it to HTML. But you don't have to. It can be anything, and you can choose yourself how to deal with those marks. I will show you this in the next video. If we go to the last block, we can also see that marks can be references to objects. So here we have Google. It has a mark reference, and this is where mark definitions comes in. So if we follow this key in mark definitions, we find that it is a type of link, and it has some data, namely the URL. So if we go back and, for example, add a link, let's add a link here. Let's just go with Google as well. We should be able to see this added in the data. So here we have the SEO span I just made a link for. Here we have a reference. And if we go into the markdefs, we can see this reference here as well. You can also combine marks, so we can make this we can put an emphasis on this love span, go back and take a look at the span again. So to more quickly find where we want to inspect this document, we can just search and we can expand this and see that it has the mark strong and EM for emphasis. So that's basically portable text. What's cool with portable text is that you can insert your custom block types, but also inline object types. So you can have rich data structures within inline text. Now I want to show you how to add the rich text editor to Sanity Studio and how that ties together with the data format for portable text. So let's go into the code editor and bring up the schemas. So here are the studio files. I will go in here and I will take a closer look at the page type. So here is the content array, and here are the different sections we just had. I will now just add a new field, and I will just call this introduction. And if you remember, portable text is an array. So let's put in array, and it has to be an array of something. So in this case, it is an array of blocks, and this is the only thing you need to activate the rich text editor. So I will save this file. I will go back to the studio. It should reload, and here we have the rich text editor. It doesn't just have to be an array of blocks though. It can be an array of more things. So if I add for example, I will borrow this type image section and save. I will get this insert menu, and here I can add a block and have an custom block type and write text in between it. So again, if you go back to the inspect and look at the format, we can see this introduction we just made with the portable text. And here you can see that the image has its own keys and data, and this we have to deal with in the front end in a serializer, which you will see in the next video. Interestingly, if we remove this block type from this array, you will see that the array field will come back. Now it has some data in it that is the block, but it will turn back to this array, which means that we can actually go into the content array and we can add the block type like this, and it will convert into the rich text editor. So before ending this video, I want to show you one more thing, and that's how to add inline custom types. If you go back to the introduction field and put back the block type like this, we can give this actually a off key, and in here we can also add more fields. So we can add a reference. Let's give it a title. And it has to be a reference to something. So let's just put page. Let's save and look at how this works. So here we got the rich text editor back. I will now place the cursor on this text line. And here we can see that I can insert this page like this. So here we have an inline data object. It is a reference actually to a page. And we can see that we have this preview. And go back to the inspect and look at the data. So here we have the first block, In the children, we have the children spans, we have the hello, and the reference we put in, and there as another span. So this is useful if you want to, for example, reuse some content in other documents in a marketing text. For example, if you have a product line, you can just make a reference to a product, and you can be assured that if you change the name or something, that this name will also change in the marketing documents that refers to this product. Another cool thing is that you can't just delete that product without dealing with the references first, so you don't accidentally remove something that other documents are relying on. So that's pretty useful. So this has been an introduction to portable text. I'm Knut, developer advocate at Sanity.io, and thanks for watching.